and good morning. Today we're on the north side of the Mendip Hills and we're visiting a village which on the surface looks much like any other. But in recent years, East Harptree has seen a revival of a truly unique ancient tradition. Welcome to a special sporting edition of Mendip Eye. Now, in most affluent commuter villages, old rural traditions are kept alive more through a kind of nostalgic guilt than because they fulfil any practical or economic purpose. But here in East Harptree, one tradition is thriving again. It's a game called Tourney, and it's a kind of cross between rugby and Morris dancing.
It's two teams of people.
Chasing bits of material, ribbon or something.
They have this big rumpus straggle and they sort of all struggle and gather tangles from each other.
I ended up rolling in the mud with the vicar's wife at one stage.
We went to talk to John Emery, the local historian who kick-started the Tourney revival.
Not many people have seen this.
Wow.
As you can see, it is very old and we're still working our way through it, trying to get an understanding. There's some brutish behaviour and a picture of a packing. We've also got illustrations of the game itself.
So who's that one?
That's the Major Dom. He seems to be like the central character. I mean, he's one of the officials, but he's above the officials. He actually seems to be like the embodiment of the rules. He seems to have powers beyond the others.
The photograph here, I mean, that looks like some sort of trophy.
It is actually the stone of Tourney. You can see it's got a jagged edge. It's actually broken, but there is actually a prophecy in here as well. And the Tourney stone was cracked in two by the Major Dom, Pete Jarvis, for it was foretold that the stone's terrible power would bring Hartree to a fiery doom. But only the pure of heart may reunite the two halves. Only an unblemished soul may wield the stones. Heed these words, Hartree, or risk thy own destruction.
But how does the actual game of Tourney work?
You really want the rules of Tourney?
Yeah, the rules are pretty hard to explain, to be honest.
This is where you've got the Mackies of both sides, the Widders and the Clockers, and they've butted up, they've got a throng in, they're doing the snatching, they're delivering.
You're only allowed to grab one tag at a time before you run.
Round and round in this circle, and then when you've got your tackle, you have to take it to the edge of the circle.
And give it to your team leader, and then you have to walk back.
Walk, not run, round the circle to your stick man.
And once they've got 5 tackles, then the game stops and they're all counted up.
And then there's this guy with this funny hat on and this uniform, Dom I think it's called him, Major Dom.
And then while the circuities are taking place, that's the Major Dom being pushed around in the put.
The children in your team have to throw beanbag type things into this bucket in the middle.
You've got Widder chuckers and Clocker chuckers. The chuckers take it in turns to throw chooks into the maund.
And this is quite dangerous because they often get in the way of the wheelbarrow, and I nearly killed a couple last year.
And the winner is the team that has the greatest number of maunded chooks at the end of all the circuses. It's quite simple.
Well, even after talking to the villagers, the rules of Tourney were as clear as mud. But I kept hearing about this mysterious Major Dom. Perhaps he could shed some light on the game.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Nice
Do
to
come
meet you.
in.
Thank you.
Do sit
Thank
down.
you. So, what the Major Dom? Could you just tell us a bit more about your role in Tourney?
Well, the Dom during the tourney is both an adjudicator, an umpire, but also at given points an actual player in the ritual as well. So it's both active and passive, being in a controlling role, but also a little bit of ritual humiliation as well.
So it must have been a great honour for you to be voted in by your parishioners.
Voted in? Didn't John tell you? Voting doesn't actually come into it. It's the hat.
The hat?
Well, the hat does the choosing. The hat creates the tourney.
Right.
That's the hat.
Gosh,
There we are.
that's amazing. It looks very, very old, ancient.
Well, of course, this is an original. The ceremonial coat which the Major Dom wears is a reproduction, and we've drawn on that as far as we can on people's recollection of exactly what the colours were, the buttoning and the cummerbund. But it is, of course, the hat which makes it. That's the most important part, and the hat is more than regalia.
Right.
You mean about the hat?
Yes.
Well, we think we know. We think it's to do with the process of spontaneous reincarnation. What we would now expect is for the new Dom to appear in the village wearing the hat, and that should happen really very, very soon. There's every chance that there's the odd sighting around the village, but what we'd certainly expect is that at 10 o'clock tomorrow at the clock in the village, the Dom will be there. I assume. John!
Well, as you can see, the atmosphere in Harptree is electric today. News of the first sighting has spread like wildfire around the village. Everyone knows, and they're clearly very, very excited.
So, John, what can we expect to see today?
We're very, very excited. We're expecting the Dom to appear. It should be 10 o'clock today, and we're expecting to show up from just around that corner behind you. It's 10 o'clock.
John, what's going on?
Well, you can see everybody's very, very angry that the Dom hasn't turned up. We fully expected him to come at 10 o'clock. It's not going to happen. The only thing I can suggest as why it hasn't happened is because we haven't got the Tourney stone. So I suggest you go find the guardian of the stone.
Okay. Maybe it's been tidied away.
As if?
Well, perhaps somebody's stolen it then.
Well, you might not be far off the truth there. You know that dig up the road? I don't reckon it's English heritage. I think it's somebody looking for the second half of the stone.
Woo! Well, we called English Heritage this morning and they denied all knowledge of this dig.
Kath, I just want to stop you. Someone's fiddling. Oi! Oi! There's someone over on the Land Rover.
What are they doing? God! It's written in blood! Who the hell would write something like this?
Good afternoon, Mendip Water. This is Harry speaking. May I ask which village you're calling from?
Yes, hello. I'm calling from East Harptree.
And, how may I help you today?
I work on a programme called Mendip Eye, and we're calling about the digging in Hayden's Field.
Now, listen here, madam. I recommend you take your snooping Mendip Eye and point it somewhere else. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
What consequences?
Look, I'm giving you one chance, because you're not from around here. Leave the village tonight, and we'll let you live. You're in way out of your depth.
We're in the middle of filming.
You will forget about East Harptree, you will forget about the Tourney, and you'll forget about the Major Dom. Soon it will be as if they never existed.
Oh, really? Well, how are you going to explain our footage of the Major Dom when we broadcast it all over the Mendips, Harry?
Oh, so you want to play with the big boys, do you? Well, I'll give you the big boys!
Jesus.
I don't know what your problem is, to be honest.
All I'm saying is I've been doing this a long time. I've never before received threatening phone calls and letters written in blood.
Yeah, I know, but they're just angry because we're snooping around.
I just
we've
get
got
a really
15 hours
bad feeling about it.
We've shot too much. We can't stop. We've spent like about a week on this, and we can't just give up.
What's that?
Idiot. You go on, park in the middle of the road, why don't you? What do you want to do?
This is just really weird. I think
So you're going to have a look? Do you want to have a see what's
just
there?
stay put.
You sure?
Yeah.
Just stay here.
Oh my God! What are we going to do?
I don't know. What do they want?
I don't know. Give us your camera! What? Give us your camera! I can't hear what you're saying! Give us your camera! Oh my God!
Can we call somebody? What do they want?
I don't know!
What about...
Just give them the camera! Give them the camera!
my camera! Please, get someone to...
I can't get a signal.
What's happened?
Where have they gone?
What's down there?
Hello?
Bloody hell.
John? John?
Hello.
Hi, look!
Oh, hi.
Look!
Whoa! What
I know.
have you got there? Where did you find it?
Last night we were in a van and we were attacked by Mendip Water. It looks like there was some conspiracy. The Don saved us and we found these. It looks like they fit together.
Don't put them together! Sorry, you're not pure of heart. I'm going to take these away. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you worried at all that we still have no Dom?
I'd be lying if I said no, but I actually think that even though there's no sign of the Dom at present, I think it will be okay on the day. I mean, if it's not, no Dom, there's no Tourney, so it's serious stuff, but I'm just going ahead, just assuming it's going to be all right.
What's the absolute deadline?
4 o'clock.
So could you just explain to me again? I've got a sort of rough idea of what an enforcer does.
If you think about it as a referee that's able to mete out violence.
So excited about it, but, it's just, I want to get on with it.
It's basically an excuse just to be violent. There seems
Yeah,
to be
probably.
a bribe. There's some sort of bribe going on.
Thank you very much.
So give me a problem.
Ah, right. Well, what happened there? That seems to be some sort of money exchanging hands
Well,
there.
a bribe would normally be done in a brown envelope. This bribe was clearly not a bribe because it was done in a white envelope.
There's going to be a certain amount of panic if they think the Dom is missing. Obviously, if there's no Dom missing,
You are trouble now.
You are trouble. It really should have materialised by now.
This is a final call for the Major Dom. Please will the Major Dom urgently come forward? John, what happens if the Major Dom doesn't come forward?
The only thing we could do is call on those towers that the old missus has been talking about.
Yes.
We have the 2 halves of stone
Yes.
that allow us access to that tower.
Yes.
But you willing to take that risk?
Anyone that is pure of heart and innocent of spirit, we need them to volunteer to just carry out a small task before the tourney can actually start.
We are the It's still not working. It's not working. We are the children of Hartree. Being pure of heart, being innocent of spirit. We joined the stone that was broken and asked the power of Tourney to bring forth our Major Dom.
It looks like the tourney is going to happen after all, folks. Let the games begin.
Close in the circle, close in the circle.
And cease. Yes, him, definitely him.
And him, and Nick.
Him.
Over there. Close in now.
Yes. The captain, I believe. Go forth. You must ensure there is no foul play. None.
Have you got 5?
Time penalty.
There's been some table time.
All above board.
Marshall.
I can really feel the tension beginning to mount now. As they're getting into position, we're just about to start.
Enforcers in place.
Must be absolute silence.
the end of our time here in East Hartree. It's been an amazing few days, full of intrigue and mystery. Thank goodness we managed to retrieve these. I think we can safely discount the myth that a simple stone could destroy the village.
And that was the last in the present series of Mendip Eye. Next Sunday we join Mick and Jono in Priddy for a new series of How Clean Is Your Cave? But first on TV West, it's time for the world premiere of The Last Babacus.